Picture this. You're a pilot soaring 37,000 feet above the desert skies of New Mexico, cruising along on a routine flight. The skies are clear, the passengers are relaxed, and everything seems normal. Until something impossible streaks right over your plane. A long, cylindrical object moving faster than anything you've ever seen, zips past like a bullet. It's not on radar, it's not in your flight path, and it's definitely not one of yours. You're left with one chilling question. What was that thing? New Mexico's skies have always been a hotspot for the unexplainable. From the infamous Roswell incident of 1947 to countless UFO sightings, this state is practically the capital of extraterrestrial mysteries. But what happened on February 21, 2021, takes things to a whole new level. Stick with me for the next 15 minutes because we're diving into the heart of this modern-day aviation mystery. We'll uncover the facts, explore the wildest theories, and reveal what it takes to survive a close encounter at 37,000 feet. By the end, you'll be questioning whether we're really alone in the universe. Let's get started. It's a sunny Sunday afternoon in northeastern New Mexico, just west of the small town of Clayton. American Airlines Flight 2292, an Airbus A320, is cruising at 460 miles per hour, carrying passengers from Cincinnati to Phoenix. The pilots, seasoned professionals, are in the cockpit, monitoring their instruments. The flight is routine, the kind they've done 100 times. But at 1:19 p.m. Central Time, something extraordinary happens. A pilot's voice crackles over the radio, tense and hesitant, as he speaks to Albuquerque Air Traffic Control. "Some pilot, do you have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us. I hate to say this, but it looked like a long, cylindrical object that almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing, moving really fast right over the top of us." The transmission, intercepted by aviation blogger Steve Douglas, sends shockwaves through the aviation community. This wasn't a faint light in the distance or a blurry shape on the horizon. This was a clear close-up sighting of an object moving at incredible speed right above a commercial jet. The pilot's description is vivid, a long, cylindrical object, sleek and missile-like, passing so close it could have been a near miss. But here's the kicker. Air traffic controllers check their radar scopes and see nothing. No planes, no drones, no missiles. Whatever this thing was, it was invisible to radar. American Airlines later confirms the transmission is real, but they don't have answers. They refer questions to the FBI, who only say they're aware of the incident. The Pentagon chimes in, stating no military tests were happening in the area that day. So what did the pilots see? To understand this mystery, we need to zoom out and look at New Mexico's strange history with the skies. Back in 1947, the Roswell incident put this state on the map. A rancher named Mac Brazel found metallic debris on his land, and the military initially announced they'd recovered a flying disc. Within hours, they backtracked, claiming it was just a weather balloon. But the damage was done. Roswell became synonymous with UFOs, fueling decades of speculation about crashed alien spacecraft and government cover-ups. Declassified documents later revealed the debris was from Project Mogul, a top-secret program using balloons to detect Soviet nuclear tests. But for many, the official story doesn't add up. Roswell's legacy looms large, and it sets the stage for what happened above Clayton in 2021. Let's break down the facts of Flight 2292. The Airbus A320 was flying at 37,000 feet, a standard cruising altitude for commercial jets. The object passed directly overhead, moving so fast the pilot compared it to a cruise missile. Cruise missiles travel at speeds up to 600 miles per hour, but they're loud, leave exhaust trails, and show up on radar. This object did none of those things. It was silent, left no trail, and was invisible to air traffic control. The sighting happened in broad daylight, not at night when lights can be mistaken for something else. And the pilots, trained to stay calm under pressure, sounded rattled. Steve Douglas, who runs the Deep Black Horizon blog, used flight tracking websites to pinpoint the plane's location over the remote northeast corner of New Mexico, far from any major military bases like White Sands Missile Range, which is 400 miles away. So, what could this object have been? Let's explore the leading theories, starting with the most grounded. Some experts suggest it was a secret military test gone off course. New Mexico is home to military facilities where cutting-edge technology is developed. Think lasers, hypersonic missiles, or experimental drones. The problem? The Pentagon and White Sands officials confirmed no tests were scheduled that day. Plus, any military craft would likely be tracked by radar to avoid collisions with commercial flights. If this was a classified project, it was so secret even the military didn't know about it. That's hard to swallow, but not impossible. After all, the US government has a history of testing stealth technology in remote areas. Another theory points to a more exotic explanation: extraterrestrial activity. New Mexico's UFO reputation makes this idea tempting. The pilot's description, a sleek, cylindrical object moving at impossible speeds, matches reports from other UFO sightings. In 2018, just a few hundred miles away in southern Arizona, two pilots reported a similar object passing above their planes, and between 2014 and 2015, Navy pilots off the East Coast described seeing tic-tac-shaped objects moving at hypersonic speeds with no visible engines. The Flight 2292 sighting fits this pattern. A fast, silent craft defying known technology. Could it be an alien probe scouting our skies? The lack of radar detection and physical evidence makes this theory speculative, but it's one that keeps UFO enthusiasts buzzing. A third possibility is human error or optical illusion. Pilots are human and high-altitude sightings can be tricky. Reflections off the plane's windows, atmospheric phenomena like mirages, or even a distant weather balloon could create a misleading image. But the pilot's detailed description, long, cylindrical, missile-like, doesn't sound like a vague shape or light. And both pilots likely saw it, reducing the chance of a solo mistake. Optical illusions also don't move at missile-like speeds or pass directly overhead. This theory feels like a stretch, especially given the pilot's training and experience. There's also the wild card theory: advanced, non-military technology. Some speculate that private companies or foreign governments could be testing next-generation aircraft in US airspace. Billionaires like Elon Musk or secretive tech firms could be behind experimental drones, or maybe a rival nation like China or Russia is flexing its muscles. But flying untracked craft over US skies would be a massive risk, and there's no evidence to support this idea. It's a long shot, but in a world of rapid tech advances, it's not entirely out of the question. Now let's shift gears and think about survival. Imagine you're one of those pilots, and that cylindrical object doesn't just pass by, it causes a crisis. Maybe it collides with your plane, damages an engine, or forces an emergency landing in the New Mexico desert. At 37,000 feet, you've got seconds to react. Here's what it takes to survive a high-altitude encounter gone wrong. First, stay calm. Panic clouds your judgment, and at these altitudes, every second counts. Pilots are trained to follow the aviate, navigate, communicate rule, keep flying the plane, figure out where you are, then talk to air traffic control. If the object damages your aircraft, you'd assess the systems, engines, hydraulics, oxygen, and prioritize what's critical to staying airborne. If you're forced to land in the desert, the challenges multiply. New Mexico's terrain is rugged with vast stretches of sand, rock, and sparse vegetation. Temperatures can swing from scorching days to freezing nights. Your first move is to secure shelter. Use the plane's wreckage for cover or dig a shallow trench to block the wind. Next, conserve water. At high altitudes, dehydration hits fast. Ration any supplies from the plane's galley, and if you're lucky, find a cactus for moisture. Prickly pear is edible if you remove the spines. Signal for help using mirrors, flares, or the plane's emergency locator transmitter. The pilots of Flight 2292 didn't face this scenario, but their training would have prepared them for it. The real survival test, though, is mental. Seeing an unexplainable object can shake even the toughest pilots. You'd need to compartmentalize fear and focus on the task at hand, or risk losing control. The Flight 2292 incident didn't end in a crash, thankfully. The plane landed safely in Phoenix and no one was hurt. But the mystery lingers. The FAA found no radar evidence, the FBI offered no answers, and the military denied involvement. This wasn't a one-off either. Similar sightings keep happening, from Arizona to the Atlantic coast, suggesting something, military, alien or otherwise, is sharing our skies. What makes this case so gripping is the credibility of the witnesses. These aren't amateur stargazers, they're pilots with thousands of hours in the cockpit. Their report carries weight, and it's why this story won't go away. So, where does that leave us? The New Mexico UFO mystery of Flight 2292 is a puzzle with no clear solution. Was it a secret military craft, an alien visitor, or something we haven't even imagined? The truth might be buried in classified files, floating in another galaxy, or hiding in plain sight. One thing's for sure, it's a reminder that our skies hold secrets we're only beginning to uncover. What do you think the pilots saw that day? Was it a glimpse of the future or a visitor from beyond? Drop your theories in the comments. I read every one. And if you're hooked on mysteries like this, hit subscribe and ring the bell for more. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies. You never know what's up there.